So to overthink is to stay in a place where you continually have to navigate and be aware of and have to make sense of something that sucks, right? Well, it's not because we talked about the Mark Solms guy a second ago. Like he talks about the nature of thought, and we're not actually built to think. We're supposed to be able to think, and then everything's supposed to be automatic. It's supposed to run in the background. So thinking by its very nature comes from a place of, in fact, there's a psychoanalytic, Freud talks about this, and that Wilfred Bion does as well, that you could imagine sort of metaphorically, poetically, that we didn't necessarily have to think in the womb because everything was provided for us.
True.
So our first thoughts are a way to be able to navigate deprivation and the trauma of birth or suddenly living in a world where we have to do. So thinking by itself is usually created in a response to some level of trauma. So to overthink is to stay in a place where you continually have to navigate and be aware of and have to make sense of something that sucks, right?
Right. So, I mean, there's something about the suffering that we talked about a lot here, in that we've got to manage that. We have to understand to manage that. So it's not going away. We all have it. We were
and so think
born,
about the ubiquity
there we
of that. And this is where maybe the tension, if we wanted to create a tension between maybe some standard cognitive behavioral stuff and some psychodynamic stuff,
Yeah.
is that the tension could be that if you catch yourself overthinking, you could prescribe, let me go through these steps, thought stopping or whatever that might be, that the
Right.
technique. Or you could say, okay, why am I overthinking? Like if I suddenly come in a place of FOMO, like, you're scrolling on Facebook and you're sitting in you're having a good time, sipping some wine and listening some Kenny G, and suddenly on the Facebooks you see your friend there in France, right?
Oh,
And then suddenly, like, the moment you're in is stolen. This sucks. Why didn't I should have made those choices. I should have
Loser.
I shouldn't have majored in art history. I should have, whatever. I could afford a trip to France. All these sorts of things
Wow.
begin to happen, right?
That's
And
a lot coming at you right
Yeah,
there,
right.
that conversation, man.
It really is.
I think I would say get off of Facebook for just a few minutes and see what's up.
But
out in
I think
the
that's one
world
of
out
the
there.
problems with social media. It affords you
Yeah,
these
that's
collisions that with, and the goal, you could sort of set the phone down and say, let me take a breath. Let me ground myself. Let me say, listen, it's okay. Let me remind myself of who I'm in. Go through a place of gratitude. Orient yourself to the present. All those things are wonderful. My worry might be is that if this keeps happening, we may want to ask yourself why. What is it about, is there something like was there something about that friend that triggers the overthinking?
Oh, so you're
So there
saying,
could be a
okay,
history.
you might examine this a little bit
could.
and try to uncover that little
What is
nugget
it
of
about me?
what's causing that for me.
But the goal would then be like, how does this make sense of there? In I've said it all the time, but in moments like there's a possibility to allow a part of you that's trying to find its way back home. You could integrate elements of yourself, and you could say, wait a minute, I carry with me a wound or a hurt that has been there for a long time, and moments like that may give me a chance to be able to turn and face it. And if that happens, then it's possible that the next time you see that your friend is wherever they may be, you could say, you still feel the hurt. The hurt never goes away.
Oh.
But you can answer it. Oh yeah,
Right.
I know that. And it could be that let's say that there was a simple example, but your friend had stolen a girlfriend, right? And so
Right.
part of you have this history of looking at this person made you feel inadequate and ashamed, and so the mere sight of them makes you stirs up these introjects of of being inadequate or not worthy of certain things.
Right.
And so to suddenly be able to say, oh, that's what's being stirred here. This is my old companion unworthiness. It's in the room now. This is what I'm experiencing. It gives you a chance to be able to say, oh, there he goes. It's okay.
Yeah,
You-
I'm doing it again, but it's going to be okay.
And then you go back to sipping your wine.
Well, I think that it's really interesting you bring that up, because I think when you do slow down, you take the breath and you say, why is this working in me and I'm feeling this way? It goes back to something maybe unresolved.